I think it's especially the topic that we're talking about. It's fight for workers' rights, fighting for workers and strikes, but at the bottom line is the exploitation of people of color, especially Latino, Black, and Brown, and by the federal government, by ICE. It was like last week, right? The Supreme Court issued that terrible decision that if you're Latino, you speak Spanish, or you work in a low wage job, yeah, it's so much for on for the constitution. Awful. Nico, you're a civil rights lawyer. You're a lawyer. That probably blew your mind. You're also Latino. I'm not surprised. Yeah. Yes. And not surprised, especially in this environment. Isn't that these rights and liberties that we hold so dear are being taken away, right? And I think like we have pride. The worker, the man got killed by ICE in front of the body. And ICE claims, oh, he's threatened the worker, or he threatened one of the agents, he was dragging on the car, and he shot. It was one in defense of his life. He shot over there. But all the videos say otherwise. Was the killing. All because of ICE. And I'm trying to figure out first time the administration began to crack on it, I don't know. And I think it is, right? Because we had that discussion today. They had killed, nobody in LA was killed during their ice raids. Here in Chicago, we spoke. And, that's the moment we're in. And, we got to protect each other. That's sound, especially with the text. The sheriff. Black and brown. All that's what we're dealing with. And that was the subject, I think that's the subject for today's World Rights Forum. We got two big strikes. QSL, under 150, and Mauser Teamsters. And the workforce, I had most of these workers, most of the people Latino, Black Latino workers. And that's
all fighting for something better. Something for your family, for yourself and your family, and to be treated with dignity and respect. And because of who you are, seems like big business says, hey, you know what, we could exploit you. And that needs to be heard loud and clear that that's not right. And the labor movement, the solidarity movement, we stand in solidarity with you. We want to thank, actually, we should just, that's what we're gonna talk about today. So why don't we go around the room and just sort of introduce each other? So it's such a small group. Okay, I'm Don Millar, Secretary Treasurer of Chicago Federation of Labor. Okay. Why don't we, in our audience here, Nico, why don't you start us off?
Yeah, so my name is Nico Coronado. I'm with Teamsters Local 705. I'm the chief negotiator for our current contract fight against Mauser Packaging Solutions.
I'm Randy West, I chair the Workers' Rights Board, the Chicago Jobs of Justice.
Julie.
Oh, Julie Walensky, I do, I work with Chicago Cube Solidarity, but also, the CONSEPA de Resistencia, which is a organization that came out of May Day, but is now kind of like working on a summit, which I'll really want to encourage you all to get involved with, and I can share this information, but basically a summit around immigration justice and immigration rights.
I'm Kathy Gilbert. I'm visiting here from Miami. I'm with Miami Coalition against the embargo or the blockade of Cuba and with the Green Party and recently with Workers' Rights.
I'm Sandy Perez and I'm board member of the Chicago Justice.
Sonia Burnett, I work for your local one.
Michael Cocaine, I'm a labor researcher, CME member. Stan Smith, I do a lot of work around against U.S. intervention in Latin America. Right now, I'm
US war against Venezuela, and I'm part of the Workers' Rights Board. And I'm also active in the Palestine movement.
I'm Ron Nymark. I'm with the UIC School of Public Health and the DePaul Labor Education Center.
Hi, I'm Cam. I help out with the Unity Center and I'm SEIU 73 and used to be with, right, the
I'm Matt, I teach fourth grade.
That grow,
Oh, it's Scott McCollum. I'm one of the people that runs that place. And, I'm a retired steel worker. And, I just gotta say, steel workers are doing everything they can to keep that. And out of the way.
I'm Jake Moran, I'm the Director of Communications for the Chicago Federation of Labor.
Chris is the communications director for Annual Local 1.
Hi, my name is Sochi. I'm with the Chicago Jobs of Justice.
Hi, Jill Enrique, Executive Director, Chicago Johnny. Sorry.
Hi, everyone. I'm Angie. I'm also with Chicago Jobs of Justice. I'm organizing director and I'm running the technology. It's a little difficult, so thank you for your patience.
Well, I'm Freddie Alvarez, I'm a local 150 business agent.
I'm Alex Munoz, current NASCO employee, 15 years currently on strike.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Ozzy Garcia. I'm also a QSL employee on strike and been working there for 4 years.
my name is Braulio Partida, and I'm also a QSL worker, been working there for 3 years.
What does that QSL stand for?
It's actually just the name.
Yeah.
QSL.
My name is Dr. Wilson. I'm a Mauser employee. I've been there for a year now. We're currently on strike.
We'll start off with, the strike, at Mauser, Teamsters 705.
So with Mauser strike, it's really crazy what's going on with our strike because, we're making very simple demands. It's simple requests. It's just, we're really demanding for more respect and more safety within our workplace. And, they have yet to comply. We're trying our best to get, something going for anyone, who's an immigrant, we're trying to get it so that we can't allow people in unless they have a judicial warrant. But, they're also they're fighting us on that. They're fighting us on sick days. They're fighting us on working to moderate the temperatures within our workplace, and it's just with how simple everything is that we're asking for, you would think the strikes would be over, but they're fighting us tooth and nail. And, it really could be over. We have a negotiation tomorrow. We're praying that everything goes well, but it's all in their hands really at this point. We've given our demands and we've tried to meet them in the middle. So the best we can do now is keep doing so, because obviously we can't go back and just allow them to disrespect us and treat us some kind of way. So since we stood for something, we gotta stand for it.
Right.
Yeah. How many are there on strike?
How many of us? I would say it's over 200, right? Our whole workplace,
So there's over 100 production workers, but we have approximately 20 drivers. Also 705 members and 703 that have not crossed the picket line. And to Dante and everybody else's credit, they've been on strike since June 9th and nobody's crossed the picket line.
Yeah, they're working now?
excuse me?
They've scabs, they're working now?
So do you want me to, I can answer that.
Yeah.
So they currently have a leased facility, Archer and Cicero, where we also have a second picket line set up. Unfortunately, fortunately for us, they're not able to do much work there other than just unload and load barrels. So they do have a couple of temporary workers. And we learned actually that those temporary workers weren't advised that they were doing truck work, which is actually law here in Illinois. That they need to be notified and given the opportunity to refuse to do that truck work. So we already filed a claim against them on that. So we've been vigilant, all these guys on the strike line, as hot as it's been, they've been very vigilant, and we're able to set up that picket line pretty quick, and I know Dante's been out there quite a bit. But did you want to speak to that at all?
Yeah, so we have been, a lot of things that we've been doing a lot of moving within our strike, we have people stationed at the office as well, like from, I would say we do 6 to 10, we have people go over to their head office, on the strike over there. We have people striking at the temporary plant. We have people, going to Minnesota and California to do the other plants. We have people, we're also planning on doing the other plant, correct? That's in Chicago?
Yeah.
Yeah, at some point we do plan on doing that as well, so, yeah, we've been doing a lot of moving and we're trying our best to get them to be seen and be heard.
And you, where was that one of the pickup lines or one of the last rallies that you had? And you had, some children that came up. And these are it's what you're fighting for your families.
Yeah.
Right? And, these kids, they started, when they started summer school, when summer break, mom and dad went on strike. Now they're back at school. And they're still on strike. So, those kids are pretty good for, standing with mom and dad, with their parents on the strike line. But, that's hard on families.
Yeah. Very nerve wracking for sure. Some people, like I said, a lot of those people rely on this, this is their every day, that's how they feed them, so. They need a lot for, to get us back in, because obviously that's a representation, that's a symbol in itself, this is who they're at for, so.
Fight to get rich, it's trying to take care of your family.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's, the hopes and dreams. Yeah, absolutely. Anything else you wanna add? Any other questions?
What do you make there?
We refer, like, we recycle and refurbish drums. So, take all chemical drums, we burn them, clean the chemicals out or wash them. And then we disassemble, reassemble and redefine the drum, ship it back out.
How long has the plant been unionized, and is this, I'm guessing that this is your first strike, but I don't know.
So this is our third contract with the company. So it has been unionized with a previous union. It was Production Workers 101, I want to say. And then we took over the unit in 2019. But this is our first strike, with 705. This is their first strike, from my understanding.
You're going back to bargaining this week. Or
Yeah, tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah. So like Dante said, it's, we've made our demands clear. We moved in areas that we thought we could move in to try to get a deal done. But there's of course, some red lines, these people can't be living paycheck to paycheck. They essentially want to get rid of, just cause in our contract. And there's the immigration rights protections there. That is something that Dante touched on, right? We don't want ICE or any kind of like federal agency to come in with just an administrative one. And these were priorities, and we of course have other priorities in there that is gonna be the benefit to everybody, but everybody's been solid on the line. And it's a test for them, but they've been nothing but solid by not crossing the picket line.
Is there anything we can do that, is you have an ask for us to do, call management, what's the action that?
Absolutely. So, like Dante was saying, right, we've been going to the global headquarters out in Oak Brook every morning. Setting out banners over there. We've had people at Archer and Cicero at the temporary plant with their strike line there, as well as the Millard location where we have the strike line as well. So if you guys could stop by and give them any kind of support, bring them food, water, that would be greatly appreciated. But something that you don't actually have to leave your home for is using a QR code. I actually gave to Jill. And it allows you to send a message to the Mauser executives. to demand a fair and just contract for our folks and to also contact their top 10 customers to demand the fair and just contract for our folks because we are aware that the company is losing business. And quite honestly, when they came up with that and they said that's a real issue with them at the table, we let them know that we could get back to work. It's just up to them, like Dante said, balls in their court. So the more pressure we can put on there, in multiple ways, not just through the executives, but through the customers will help us a lot. And it doesn't even require you to come to the picket line. So it'll have a script in there. You can call them as well as email them. And we would greatly appreciate that.
Also, I feel like things like this is very appreciated as well, because you know, the bigger it gets, the more notice it gets, the more eye-opening it is to their customers and the company itself. You know, a bad media image never does good with profits, so. You know, it also matters the fact that you guys are having us here, which again, thank you.
Do you have a question?
Yeah, I was wondering if there was like any specific items or list that you got. Like food and water, are there anything for kids that that are unemployed stuff?
Yeah, family, yeah.
So we have been pretty good about, keeping, like, when it comes to family, they don't really bring their family out too often. It's more of when we have the big events that they usually bring their family out, so. I don't know if we would need any like kid items, but you know, of course, for water, that's a pretty basic one, we would like. I don't know about, what everybody eats, so I can't tell you.
I would say if you wanna bring pizzas and be safe, with just non-meat. Show the Archer Cicero some love. I know that they're out there and they're out in the sun, they don't have any trees or anything. We got a tent for them, but you know, a lot of them are out there. So I could put that in the Zoom as well, that specific Archer location. And I could send it to you, Jill.
Yeah, we're gonna send out an email afterwards.
Perfect.
So anything you send me, I'll send out.
So is there like a strike fund for fundraising or anything like that?
So yeah, I will say that, we have a pretty healthy strike fund at our local. That's something that, we will, of course, take donations for. But at this point, I think it's, anything in terms of food that you can bring to the folks on the line, as well as just support. We have, you know, great folks from the UAW who are gonna be out there next Friday. And then we have CTU, we're gonna have Dante speak again in front of their House delegates, so 1,000+ delegates, I think he's gonna be speaking in front of. And they're gonna start coming up. So I know it's out south, I don't know if you live down south, but if you guys can make it, they really appreciate the support. It's been keeping morale up, especially in tough times right now, where ICE is on the prowl, right? And it's nothing but stressful to a lot of these folks, so all power to that, really, you know.
Yeah, here's like, isn't the Millard locations across from this high school, right? Public school?
Very close.
Yeah, very close. Yeah,
Yeah.
down the street, I would say from elementary school.
Yeah.
I think it might be Gary,
Gary.
Elementary.
And that's, I mean, just building that solidarity.
Yeah.
And because like. A lot of the kids who are on that strike line, I mean, they're going to school,
Yep.
you know, and it's good to see you. Good luck. When are you speaking?
I guess tomorrow, right?
Oh,
Yeah, 4:45, yeah.
Give them help.
Yeah.
When you have picket lines, if we go out there, when is it? 24 hours a day or what?
So Monday through Friday, it's 24 hours. Saturday and Sunday, it's Saturday is 5 to 12. And then 5 AM to 12 PM. And then on Sundays, it's 5 AM to 11 AM.
And what were the main issues in the strike again?
So we're looking for, we obviously go through a lot of problems trying to get, days off and sick days, so a lot of our employees work on this very important events. Due to the fact that they're earning the points, they don't do anything to moderate our temperatures within the workplace, so you know, it's freezing cold outside. So we got through that, we struggle getting a hold of uniforms. We're obviously trying to do something to protect our, immigrant workers and make it so that, you know, ICE can't just barge in with like a judicial warrant. So, yeah. But it's again, pretty simple changes. We're asking for very simple changes, just we're not getting accommodated.
So they're not trying to cut healthcare or your pay?
Currently, I'm pretty sure they currently try to do that, correct?
Yeah, so with the pay, I mean, they would be getting, and this is a unit where there's many classifications, but on average, they would only be making about 70 cents a year. On top of that, so 70 cents the first year of the contract, 70 cents the second, and then 70 cents the third year.
That's that's the offer.
That was their last best and final offer until they walked back from that after they unanimously rejected it. But right now, they currently haven't increased that offer. They moved on a couple of non-economic items, but they're still pretty entrenched. For our folks, that's not acceptable, especially with the inflation that's been on the rise and the cost of living in Chicago. So for us, we're holding out for more and we're not asking for really that much more in terms of wages. The health insurance, I will say, has always been pretty bad there. There's only roughly about 20 of the members, the production members that are even on the health insurance plan. Because their deductible for a family is 6,600. And their individual deductible is 3,300. So deductibles alone are terrible. And they usually rely on health insurance elsewhere, and that's why they're not even on the company's plan. But really in terms of the economic items, they're very modest in terms of what this billion-dollar company makes. Does that answer your question? I'm sorry, sir.
We have some questions on whenever you're ready.
For Mauser, or want to hold those for later?
For Mauser.
For Mauser? Sure.
Okay, so Roberto Wood from IBW Local 9 says there's two questions. The first one is there a list of things that the families need? Second question, who are the corporate owners of Mauser?
So I'm pretty sure the corporate owner is Mark Burgess, correct?
So the CEO is Mark Burgess, but currently they're being held by a private equity firm called Stone Canyon Industries. And that is something that was highlighted by, thankfully Senator Sanders joined the fight pretty early and amplified our message. But that is, who we highlighted as the corporate owner, of Mauser Packaging Solutions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when it comes to things that they would need. I'm pretty sure I think we touched that, they're mostly looking for, food, water, and well, obviously the biggest thing, support.
And then we have another question from Inaz Hombo. I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. But the question is, I'm a first year biology major at Loyola University Chicago. I was wondering, how has the company been reacting to the strikes? How have they spoken up about any potential arrangements?
Besides reaching out to us a couple times to negotiate, they've been very quiet. I'm pretty sure the biggest thing is they can't really win the media battle, I felt like, so they of course are gonna stay quiet. They're just gonna try to reach out to us to win us over personally. Cause we've taken very good precautions when it comes to getting more people on board and getting the truth out about the company.
What was the last part of that question?
Have they spoken up about any potential arrangements?
Arrangements.
No, I think that.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Do you have any, like a one-page flyer or something that we could hand out to people about the issues and what?
We'll get that out to you.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks, Dante. Thank you, Nico. Where's Valley? And the other action that we're in right now, and the other big strike in town is down in the Lake Calumet Port area, QSL. And thank you, for joining us, here. And I'll hand it over to you all.
Okay. So my name is Freddie Alvarez. I'm organizing with International Union of Operating Engineers from Local 150. I've been standing alongside these 27 workers since May 22nd of this year. Local 150 has filed a total of 7 unfair labor practice charges against QSL America. Also known as NASCO, which is a stevedorian company operating at Chicago's ports. QSL America parent company is a Canadian-based QSL. With substantial owners of Icon Infrastructure and CDPQ, the pension fund of Quebec. These companies publicly claim to hold a high business ethics and standards. But these are just words. They have shown zero action to hold QSL America accountable for the treatment of its workforce. The strike against QSL America is about letting foreign-owned companies like QSL and their investors, Icon and CDPQ, know that doing business in the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago mean workers are treated fairly, with dignity and with respect. Local 150 strike is a stand against practice that undermine the value of labor and compromise the safety and rights of workers. We are here to make it known that workers' voices will not be silenced, and their demands for fair treatment will not be ignored. Today marks the 117th day of our strike. In that time, I've gotten to know a lot of the employees, workers, on a personal level. These are hardworking men and women with families, wives, children, and parents who rely on them. And yet, they are willing to stand on the picket line day after day because of the injustice and safety concerns that QSL America continues to ignore. It's a shame that QSL America has not reached out to address these concerns or the safety of their own workforce. Many of these workers are currently without health insurance while dealing with chronic health issues. They walked out on strike because enough is enough. Instead of fixing the problems, QSL America has been bringing in out-of-state workers to replace the local workers from this community. Putting those individuals at risk also. I also would like to tell you about 2 recent events that I believe is a representative of QSL approach to workers. Throughout the strike, QSL America hired workers through personal agencies to replace the workers on the picket line. At its peak, QSL America had roughly 15 employees that it hired through personal agencies. One of those employees wore a pro-union vest to work, an action that is entirely protected by federal law. As a result of that one employee's federally protected action, QSL fired every single one of its employees that were hired through these personal agencies. A few of those workers had worked for QSL for years, long before the strike began. Also, there was a near fatal incident 2 weeks ago at the ports where a 40,000-pound steel coil was dropped on a barge, landing where a worker stood only moments before. These are not actions of the company I, as an Illinoisan, want doing business in our state or in the city of Chicago. And to make matters worse, on occasion, Spencer Hudson, the operations manager who sees day-to-day operations, drives by waving his hands with a smile at these workers on the picket line, as if this was a joke. It's not a joke. It's people's lives. Chicago ports are too important to be entrusted to a company that has shown disregard for the lives and rights of its workers. And saw that tragedies like the disappearance of Darius Clement, a dock worker at the New Orleans port that QSL America operates, do not become a reoccurring narrative. Shame on QSL for treating workers like if they're disposable. Shame on them for refusing to provide a safe and fair working conditions. These are the very same workers who keep their operations running. And know this, these workers are not backing down. Support Local 150 now, as we call on the Illinois International Port District to have QSL America address the unfair labor practices, charges, or terminate their lease. Thanks everyone for having us and the support. But now I have the QSL America workers who are on strike here who also would like to speak on. Thank you.
So, hello, everybody. My name's Alex Munoz. I am a current QSL employee for 15 years. As an operator, most recently as a superintendent, so I have some sort of idea of what goes on behind the curtains. I just want to thank the local 150 for supporting us from day one, Freddie Alvarez for having our backs, again, from day one. We're very grateful for that. I've told these guys before too, I'm sorry it took me 15 years to finally realize what's going on. You know, I come from immigrant parents from Mexico who, from a child, they tell you just put your head down and go to work. Put your head down and go to work. You know, so I didn't know. But with that being said, we are on strike, like Freddie said, for unfair labor practices, and it's not crazy things that we're demanding. It's a better work environment, safe work environment, safe work equipment to operate with. So we are stevedoring. What we do in a port, we offload vessels, load vessels, unload trucks, load trucks, unload trains, load trains. There's nothing in that facility that weighs under 1,000 pounds. So we're operating heavy equipment that picks up equipment or material upwards of 50, 60,000 pounds. I mean, anything in there can fall on any employee, and I mean, that's it. There is no, oh, my arm is broken, oh, you're good. So equipment wise, there's a lot of machinery that it's a desperate need of repairs, if not just completely get rid of that machine and replace it with something else. And these are things that we've told our managers, upper management, we've told our safety advisor, we've told our HR rep, we've told the maintenance manager about. But me being a superintendent, I always have that hope with me being that rank, that title, they would listen to me, but it's over and over 15 years, the same answer. We don't have enough money for it. We'll put it in next year's budget. We'll figure it out later. But I mean, it's like talking to a brick wall with those guys. It's the same answer over and over and over. Like I said before, I mean, if a machine leaks, you lose traction. If you have material on your forks on that machine that's 20, 30,000 pounds and you're trying to stop on a dime, that's not gonna happen. You're gonna just keep sliding, and if there's someone there, you're trying to stop, avoid that person, avoid that truck, avoid that car. I mean, you're not. You're gonna plow right through that person, plow right through that truck, stepping on the neck. So like Freddie said it before too, we've been on that picket line for over 100 days. Where our demands, I mean, it's not big demands, it's common sense demands. We just want better work, safe environment for all of us. And I mean, we'll be there as long as we need to be there for them to understand, for them to reach out, which they haven't, and talk to us, come to some sort of agreement, and just end this. Like Freddie also stated before, we have out-of-state workers from Texas and Louisiana that are coming over that have never dealt with this material before. They have never dealt with these machines. So they're putting their own lives at risk as well as all the workers that are still in there at risk. Production has slowed down. And for the same reason, I mean, it's temp workers that are coming in that have no idea. It's guys that are coming off the streets. They're coming off the streets, and to QSL America, a 2 to 6 hour video is enough to throw them into the operations, throw them on a machine, hand them the keys, and basically tell them, figure it out. I mean, that's how it works. Been there for 15 years, you don't have a cab next to you to have someone with experience to drive with you. I mean, you're in a machine by yourself, and the only way for you to learn is to operate the machine, like driving a car.
So no training.
No, it's a 2 to 6 hour video. That's it. It's a 2 to 6 hour video, and you're certified through the company to operate the machine. Like I stated before, there is in a cab, there isn't a seat next to you to have an experience operating with you. It's here's your keys, figure it out. And again, I mean, that shouldn't happen.
No.
Training should last weeks.
Yeah.
Heavy machinery like that, weeks. But again, these are things that we bring up to them, we try to talk to them about, we tell them about, but in 1 year and out the other. But with the support of the local 150, we'll be out there as long as we have to. Rain, shine, snow, cold, heat, it doesn't matter to us, we'll be out there for them to hear us, for them to talk to us, and finally realize that the way they're doing things is wrong. So. Thank you.
Hey guys, my name is Ozzy Garcia. I've been an operator over there at QSL for 4 years. And ever since then, I've been put on a machine after doing, like Alex said, only like a 4 hour training video. And ever since then, I've been operating, doing all the work, and I just never really thought about it, that this is just how things will go. That's how I would see it. It was just how things were. But then over time, I couldn't realize that it's not right to anyone, to all the people that work there. Like, for how long this place has worked and operated, it's not right, and it had to come to a stop. I want to tell you about an instance where one time I was on a machine that had a broken parking brake, and it would just, there was no way to stop it. If I got off, I don't know what would happen to that machine, and it just never bothered me until one day I stopped, sort of like at an incline, and then I got off the machine. And before I got off, I walked away, and then before I noticed, I turned back just out of pure luck, and I noticed that the machine was just starting to roll away. Ooh, just unattended, could go straight to the river, or who knows what could be on the way. I had to go run, jump onto the machine, just to turn it on and stop it. And it's like, what if there's people on the way? Who knows what could have been in front of there? And then it's just, one day, it's not gonna be a what if, it's gonna be, why couldn't we have prevented this? And that's what we're here for, to just stop with the what ifs. And just make sure that everybody here gets respect, safety, and just the assurance that they know that they're gonna come home each day in a safe work environment. And like these machines, like I'm just getting to the bottom of it. These machines, they would have alongside the broken parking brakes, they would have just missing side mirrors, rear view mirrors, just no rear view cameras if you had a lot of blind spots. They had no fire extinguishers, a lot were expired. Just leaks. And then all these things that we would bring up to the maintenance and to managers. Me and Brawler here have been part of the safety committee, and our opportunity that they gave us to speak those concerns directly. And even then, they would just go unaddressed. My machine would have leaking hydraulics, and as I said, the parking brake, and it was just never attended to. There was no other machine that could do. These machines were more than 20 years old and just not being attended to as they should have been. And still, it was just expected that these vessels would come in and out. These trains were expected to be finished every day, on time, no delays. Delays weren't acceptable. But it doesn't make sense to me. We want to be safe. We want to work, but not without respect, safety, and just assurance. And I don't think that's a whole lot to ask for. And it's frustrating and it's disheartening to see our concerns pushed aside, our safety put second to just meeting out these quotas that they have to meet. And it's just that we just want to be heard, we want changes done. And we just need to see change in QSL America. And that's all we're asking for, and we'll be there as long as it takes. And me and our coworkers, we've been here for more than 100 days, we'll be as long as it takes. And that's all we want to see get done, and thank you guys.
My name is Braulio. I worked in QSL for 3 years. I just want to talk about my experience with working there. I worked in a different location at 130, and we dealt with sugar, the same sugar you eat. These warehouses, they were in poor conditions, allowing all kinds of animals to get in the sugar. Not only that, the machines, we would run the machines, diesel machines, with no respiration. So we would just be breathing in all those fumes from the machines. Like Alex said, workers would watch a 2 hour, 2 to 6 hour video, and then we're informed that you're certified to drive a machine. And that, I had a first-hand experience with that 2 years ago. I was dropped in a vessel because the operator was fairly new. He was putting me inside a barge. I was in a man cage. And all of a sudden, the machine went down and smacked me with the chains. No report was done. That was my first hand experience. I was also in the safety committee, like Ozzy said. And we would bring just the basics, mirrors, fire extinguishers, parking brakes, basics. They wouldn't do nothing about it. They would just kind of brush it off and not say nothing. I just want to thank you guys for coming out here and taking the time out of your day to listen to us. We really appreciate it. And thank you.
Yeah, that's striking. I mean, as for labor movement unions, I mean, the strike is our ultimate weapon, right? It's usually after, we've tried, we begged and pleaded and bargained, try to get the company to move. And we don't take strikes lightly, right? Because when you go on strike, you put your livelihood, you put your family on the line. And so, thank you for your bravery. I know it takes a lot to say enough is enough, and you're fighting corporate greed. I mean, you got like that best private equity, and it's the same property, you got private equity there too that runs it. And those billionaires are getting rich. Meantime, folks at the bottom, workers they put their lives at risk. And the other thing is like, it's the whole transportation infrastructure. They make barrels that they use to package, which is, and that's loaded on these barges. And just the connectivity, the work that we all do is connected, and then, and that's what keeps our movement around. And the work you do, the work we all do, connects all of us. And thank you for your testimony, for speaking out. And I mean, I was on, walking. Who here has walked the picket line, been on strike? Hey, right? You've been on strike, and it is tough, right? When we walked out of Channel ABC, we did a 2 day strike, and the company locked us out for 3 months. But that's tough, just walking that picket line. I know. Well, thank you for your courage, because I know how hard it is. Walking that line, right? Walking that line until like, hey, one day stronger, one day longer, one day stronger.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get to this end. It will end, and you got the whole labor community on your side. So you're not alone, right? But we'll open it up for some questions. Yeah.
Do you have, like, who makes deliveries and what kind of deliveries, like, UPS or DHL going out there, or?
UPS has been honoring our ticket.
Good.
For the most part, yeah. Now what they're using this FedEx.
Okay, FedEx.
Yeah.
Any big, like, T-Force, any other ones have you noticed, or is it mostly?
Not that I've seen lately.
Okay,
Well, where's your picket lines?
We got one established on 95th Street, which is 95th and Ewing, which, 93.
It's 9301 South Creeder Avenue,
It's by Calumet Fisheries.
right next to, a little bit beyond that,
Okay.
right over the bridge, right next to Calumet Park.
Yeah.
Oh, the waterfront, you're there?
Yeah.
I know we've got 2 more locations.
Oh, I think I went by there once.
It's hidden. If you don't know about it, it's tucked away in the little corner, but it's right next to the park.
We're striking 3 ports, 3 locations for QSL America. 30th, which is 12700 South Butler. And then we have another one at 106th Street. What is it?
I'm not 100% sure yet.
So they have 3 ports in the city of Chicago.
The 130th, that's near the Ford plant, right? Is that
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yep, that's right there.
It's 551, you mean?
Right, if you want, yeah, the Ford plant.
I have one, so, do you guys, when you guys finish your training, I know you guys said it's only a video, did they at least give you a legit licensing to go to other companies? No, so it's not, your training is only, or your certification is only valid for that company.
Of course.
Once you're out of, it's not, yeah, once you're out of there, it does.
So that's what I'm gonna say, like, besides the machine, if they're not, in a good condition. It worries me is that your life is in danger.
Yeah, that's right.
Forget about the machine, it's the less than 35,
Their lives
but it's your.
and
You
their.
know, it's the sugar that they feed and everything, that company put it in your health. And you guys would like to, Angie, after the whole, meeting, I guess we can help with that. It's keep organizing your,
Yeah,
your-
gosh.
And it's the same with the other company, I mean, it's ridiculous. No, if they, part of that demand should be your health.
Absolutely. After their lives, everybody around them, and it's one of
Of course.
it's the biggest port in the city of Chicago. One of
Yes.
the biggest ports in the Midwest.
It's-
And then something to know too, it's a Canadian owned company, which in Canada, all of them are union.
Which is kind of what?
In Canada, they're union. It's a Canadian, we're a Canadian owned company, and their Canadian employees, all of them are union.
They probably treat them better. than you.
Oh, yeah, they do. We've seen the facilities, they do.
So they can do it, they can do the right thing.
We've been told on them on Canada, like on their machines, their seats, if there's a little rip on their seats, the operators won't even jump on it.
Wow.
I mean, we're operating with
Yeah.
no brakes. No horns.
Is OSHA be involved with the company, like you said, it's that also the sugar and, I mean, it's,
I believe OSHA does have an active investigation.
Good.
okay, good, good. As a show, right?
Right.
Have you,
Yeah.
is this a new contract? So this would be like a first contract?
No, QSL America is not. It's a non.
They're trying to organize.
So this is you're demanding recognition for this?
No, we
No.
just want the unfair labor practices resolved.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah. They're speaking out for the workers who are,
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's unfair labor practices. Yeah. We just want them resolved.
And you say there's a percent of the workers are still working, or are they all on strike like Mauser?
There's currently workers that are still working. And they're bringing temp workers from out of state.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just wondering, like you said, also the percentage about like what percentage is out on strike versus,
There's usually,
I'd say 50-50.
yeah, there you go.
is that 50-50, including the 50, and the 50% that are working, including those that they're bringing in? Or 50% of the regular?
I would say including them too.
Yeah, including.
I think as far as NASCO employees, there's more outside. And then with the guys that they bring in from out of state, at times, it kind of evens out.
Yeah.
I mean, they're new guys off the street that have no idea what they're doing.
yeah, they give this video.
Yeah, 2 to 6 hour video, training video to certify.
And I wanna add on to that video part, one time, it was like, already when I've been like already half a year operating, they pulled me over to the side and said that. if I've ever been trained on the machine. I was like, yeah, I have, I'm operating it, and they said, we don't have any record of being trained for this. So, they were letting that go on for a bit longer.
Julie,
Yeah, so you guys, it sounds like what I'm hearing is kind of like training is really, there is no training, or it's just really minimal training. And then there's issues with the equipment that's being used, that it's not really kind of like maintained and, you know, like kept for safe use. But it is like crew size also another issue in terms of the number of people assigned to do the job. Is that another issue? Because on the railroad, I used to work on a railroad, and that was like something over the years that just kept on. They just kept decreasing the crew size, which also was affected safety in terms of the work that was done. Is that an issue with you guys?
Yes. I would say we've never been properly staffed. I
Yeah.
mean, worked thin. We work anywhere between 12, 13, 14 hours a day,
Oh,
7 days a week.
so,
No, okay. Yeah.
really?
It's typically Monday through Friday, but we have vessels, barges, I mean, we got all hands on deck. But I don't think we've ever been properly staffed anywhere.
Yeah.
in your counterpart in Canada, are they properly staffed?
I'm sure they
Yeah,
are, sure they are.
what can we do? What's the call to action?
I know Chrissy, Kavanaugh, she's been doing letter campaigns. There's a lot of social media, you guys look on local 150 Facebook. But there's social media, we're reaching out to a lot of local aldermen.
Who's the,
Chico.
another?
Yes.
Peter Chico is the alder.
So, there's community outreach and, letting the communities know. But, we do have letter campaigns that, Chris will touch on, that you guys can write the letters so that to a lot of these, Icon and CDBQ to let them know.
Sorry, but yeah.
Yeah.
Get everybody JWJ to write these letters.
Yeah.
Sure, so over the course of the 117 days, we've had a number of letter writing campaigns. The first one was outreach directly to Icon infrastructure principals. And, with the assistance of, the support of many, we were able to send over 32,000 letters directly to those principals. At around the same time, we also started a letter writing campaign. This was focused in on New Orleans for awareness to the issue around dairy supplement, and trying to help bring awareness to the Louisiana legislators and to the mayor of New Orleans. And that is ongoing as well in terms of the campaign that we have going on currently that we really need support with. This is our letter writing campaign directly to the Illinois International Port District Board. And this is where we're requesting that they help us. There is a clause directly in the lease that QSL America has related to labor unrest, in which they have to sufficiently try to address it, in which case QSL America has not addressed any or tried to remediate any of the unfair labor practice charges. So at this point, we have gone to the court. We have a number of meetings that we've attended June and August, and we'll be there this Friday. In which case, at that point, we're going to reiterate that our ask is if they cannot, go to QSL America and request that they address these concerns, that they terminate their lease.
Get them out of there,
Yeah.
out of Chicago, out of town.
We have some online questions. Roberta Wood said, what are the picket hours? That's the first question. And then second question, are there issues with access to at QSL?
So the first question is, we're there at 5 a.m. in the morning till QSL closes to your shop. So the hours vary. We're there 7 days.
So,
Can you phrase the second question, please?
yeah, are they are there issues with ice access at QSL?
No, yeah.
Okay. And then another question from Joseph Balkis. How much economic damage has been done to both companies, if you know?
I don't have the answer to that, but I know there is a drastic slowdown from the employees mentioning from previous years before, as far as how busy they used to be. So, to how busy they are now, so there is a drastic slowdown.
Marie, you wanna talk a little bit about just actually what it looks like in terms of the slowdown of, CN trains and,
Oh,
the.
absolutely. So CN training used to be out there 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. They're now coming out 2 days a week, sometimes 1 day a week. And that as far as delivering in rail cars and taking rail cars out. Now, recently, there has been an overload of rail cars inside of the QSL America port, which is a 9201 South Breeder. And usually they're having backups. Not only do they have, an overload of rail cars on the inside, but it also is creating traffic hazards. The, gates, the cross gates, they're down for the longest, I think it's 2 to 3 hours sometimes. You have semi that are coming in and out of QSL America, going around the gates, the crossing gates, which creates a danger. You have pedestrians who are also crossing it because, of the delay. You have vehicles who are also crossing, the crossguard. Again, this is because of the delays that are happening due to QSL America not only being understaffed, but being overloaded with work. That's, the rail cars, because they don't have enough people to help out. So it's a lot of chaos and a lot of public safety hazards that are happening currently. Yeah, because, obviously the slowdowns, the lack of knowledge from the employees that they're bringing in from out of state. You're welcome.
That's all I have for now.
Any other questions? So, yeah.
Yeah, can you get, make sure that we all get the addresses of people to write to?
Absolutely.
Thanks.
I know Christy does a very well job of posting that online.
Okay.
If you guys want to follow us on the local 150 Facebook, it's usually posted on there.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's local 150 operating engineers
Okay.
Facebook. And we usually post every day. Christy posts online there, and everything is on the Facebook.
Great, thank you.
No, absolutely. Thank you. And, just spreading the word. Spreading, everything that is happening at these ports helps out.
Yes, and if you also go to our website, down in the post section, the news section, we have a space for it, and you can read the whole history of all the press releases we put out. It does have links there as well to all of the letter campaigns, and then I know they're gonna share that link as well.
Awesome.
What is the website?
It's local150.org.
Chrissy, wasn't there an international connection to the Mideast or QSL? Was there something that you guys were talking about too?
Yeah, so CDPQ, so I think, Freddie had mentioned this. That the substantial owners of the parent company, which is QSL, and that's in Canada, there's two substantial owners. One of them is CDPQ, which is again the pension fund of Quebec. There was a UN report that came out at the beginning of July, which tied them to war crimes and genocide in Gaza. And so, we did make sure that that was obviously shared on our pages, and that is, in addition to the 3 locations that we do have pickets, we also, have been out at a number of places bannering.
Yeah.
So they're not a good company. They're just bad people. Bad to their workers and bad to the world. Yeah. Now again, thank you And thank you for coming out, and thanks for standing, because if you guys are, I mean, there is a struggle right now. Workers are under pressure. We've been talking about, the attacks on federal workers. But, and one of the things like. When we started the Workers' Rights Board, the Civil Servant Speak Out series, and now strikeout series. Strikers speak out, was the fact that, what happens in the federal workforce, they eventually employers. Start doing the same to the private sector or to regular employees. I mean, Patco. After Ronald Reagan, replaced all the Patco workers in the eighties, then employers said it's open season on unions. So, we gotta pay close attention to what's going on, especially with how, in the private equity firms are treating workers. Because, the president gave the green light for the agency to treat workers like crap. So employers are seeing this and they're gonna do the same, my concern is like, they're gonna pull the same thing. And, cause we got 2 strikes that started in May. And, 1 in June, and then we have a lot of labor actions out there right now, and I know, organizing in the Trump NLRB. And yeah, Nico, I mean, you filed all those ULPs, and then, Nico, you practice in the trumpet before the board, how difficult it's becoming.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was a Biden board, probably hear all these ULPs decided right away in favor of the workers. That's just my guess. You'd have a labor board that would, enforce the law, but, the impact of what's going on right now. But we all have to stand together in solidarity because, like I say, an injury to one is an injury to all, and, what happens to you all happens to us, But again, thank you, and, anything else, and, oh, yeah.
Again, we'll send out all the information that was given, including recordings of the video and the links to that. So you'll get to watch and see if you missed, you get the resources as well. But I also want to give Sochi a chance to talk about another way that you can help out the Mauser line.
Yes, first of all, hi, Sochi here with Chicago Justice. Thank you for being out here today and sharing your story. What I really love about these meetings is that, we all kind of come together from different sectors of our job, but we realize our struggles are connected. So I really love coming out to be unfortunate, how we're here, but thank you for coming out. In terms of the Mauser, JWJ has been planning Nika Watch or Ice Watch around the picket line. We have been out there with them since last week. So that's another way to plug in, if you want to support, is we're out there, we have a sign up sheet, where you can fill out, sign up for a shift. We're asking folks to sign up for 2-hour shifts at the minimum, but if you can do more, obviously, that's greatly appreciated. You can get in contact with me, also we'll share the information on the email that we'll send out after all the signed up with all this stuff and everything. But yeah, so far it has been pretty chill. I would say we haven't seen anything, or I wouldn't say anything, but we haven't had any big activity. We just seen some suspicious cars kind of roaming around, going around in circles. We have taking documented the vehicle, the people that have been coming around. So what we always say, a boring day is a good day, because yeah, so we'll send the information out where you can sign up and you can support the Mauser strike in that way as well. But yeah, thank you.
And you still need to be trained on how to do Ice Watch or trained and know your rights, that type of thing, then we can hook you up with that as well, obviously, before we put you out to do Ice Watch.
Yeah. And we do the buddy system, so you should not be out there alone. Yeah.
And I've told Zochi probably multiple times at this point. Our strike has been highlighted on Fox National News. Of course, not in the best light. And there's not a single day that goes by that I'm not, utterly thankful to them being out there. A lot of our members have reiterated how much they're thankful to have them out there, because You know, honestly, it's, the state has a prime opportunity to enact state violence on our strikers. So it's much appreciated and these people have a lot on the line. It's not a normal strike. So that's much appreciated.
Right here, yeah. Thank you for trusting us.
We're happy to coordinate, the workers' rights board and everybody else and heading over to the QSL strike line.
That's.
At one point. One day.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Scott, you gonna go to the strike line? Is that what you're raising your hand for?
But I am going to the strike. I don't know if everybody heard today but Trump said that he is sending the national bus to Chicago to vote.
Oh, I didn't, geez.
And, that's one thing you can probably take his word for. So we gotta be ready, we gotta get people out, we gotta get fight back. That's all we can do.
Go do. Let's stand together, solidarity.
What is that?
I don't know if there's a sign up sheet that's been around, but make sure that these guys have your email address if they don't already have it. So that you can get, the information.
Yes, thank you all for
Yes.
being here.
Yes.
Thank you for talking and thanks for joining.
Yes.